teach Portrait of Dorian Gray in schools?
No, they teach bullshit in schools.
That's what I said.
No? Okay, well, even worse bullshit. How about that?
Yeah, that's right.
Can we get much lower?
I don't know. I can limbo pretty well.
I don't mean like a limbo, I mean equality.
I don't know. Let's find out. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Modular Components, the only podcast that is 2% better than the other 50%. I'm one of your hosts, the Vacuuminator, and I'm joined, as always, by the wild Boingo Rider.
Hello, I'm going wild. I am baring my fangs and will bite your throat.
Oh boy. And the other one that's here this week, because Snowcone is fucking somewhere, the ostentatious Buster Corp.
The hell does that mean?
Oh no, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Okay, it better not be something like insulting.
I don't think it is. I've never heard it used in an insulting way.
Also, I'm recording from my phone because I'm out of the house.
Characterized by vulgar or pretentious display designed to impress or attract notice. Okay, I guess it is insulting.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know, they can't all be winners. Anyway,
news.
we did an AF last week, and now it's back into the swing of things. We don't have any guests lined up. We don't really have fucking anything lined up for this month yet. It's September's always one of those weird months, because like there's a couple significant things to it, a couple mimetic things, but overall it just kind of feels like a throwaway month in the year. Like it's not quite the holidays yet, but it's also not quite summer anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I can feel ya.
It's a liminal time period of the year.
I'm looking for there was something on my brain that I want to talk about.
Your brain?
Not my brain.
LeBron?
Yeah,
Your brand!
I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about other people who do things
Ron's
better
a
than
great
me.
transformer. I love his dome head, his little helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Let's talk about Transformers. How do we feel? Next month is the freaking Energon Universe kickoff. How are we feeling, boys?
I lost my shit. Have you guys watched today's Smosh Reddit stories video?
No.
I don't watch any Smosh. Why do you expect me to start now?
You need to start, because Smosh is good again, and has been good for a couple of years now. Like,
But now
Smosh...
it was good, and now they've they peaked.
Yeah, they've ascended back to being like one of the best YouTube channels that is of the old guard. But anyways, they do a series where they just read and react to Reddit stories. And a new episode came out today, and it was all themed around nerdy topics. Because they had somebody whose entire channel is just going to different conventions and experiencing different fandoms on as a guest. And I shit you not, the first story was titled something like, "Am I the asshole for telling my coworker to stop talking about their hobby at work all the time?" And it was a guy complaining about a woman at his workplace who was a Transformers superfan.
Yeah.
And I legit was wildin' throughout that whole part of the video, because like they're also making a bunch of very basic Transformers jokes, and it's like, I know they don't know, they're not deep in it like I am, but also it was just that thing of being confronted for the first time in a while of like, oh yeah, I'm not normal. Being as into Transformers as I am is not a thing most people do. Oh, there's people who just have no idea and just look at this as like, this is weird, shut up about it. And then there's other people who come in and go like, hey, I don't know anything about it either, but you shouldn't tell them to shut up about it because clearly they're happy. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing. Interesting thing about just the I would say how's the best way to describe it? The intersection of normiedom and fandoms that's becoming more and more prominent.
These are terrible words. I'm sorry.
They're words we're fucking stuck with to define these things. Okay, our generation didn't even do this shit. It came from before us. It's
you
like
want to blame someone?
millennials.
Blame the fucking horny ladies who watched Star Trek in the 60s.
All right, I will. Let's go. Let's put them fight.
Yeah, let's go to the retirement home right now and start yelling at people. That'll work.
All the fucking ladies who were shipping Spock and Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for them, though. Good for them.
That's the earliest example of Western fandom.
Yep. But no, what I'm saying is like there is a group of people who aren't into these internet subcultures who are very much like, what the fuck is this weird internet subculture? And then there's majority of the people are just like, what? Why are you giving a shit? Let them do their thing. Are they hurting anybody? No. Cool.
Yeah, because like the lady they had on, she had been to a Transformers convention. I'm assuming it was a bot con. She didn't say, but she was like talking about it. Like, yeah, the most striking thing to me is like for Transformers fans, it's not even really all that much about like the shows or the movies. It's more so about the toys. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that's right. We are the only fandom that primarily cares about the toys.
I would say there's probably some others like
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe primarily cares about the comics, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I can see that.
The only big thing I've been hearing about G.I. Joe is, look at the new classified toy. Look at this thing.
Yeah,
but
you're also the thing that's been popping off the last couple of years.
Yeah. No, you know what? There are aspects of the Gundam fandom that only care about the model kits.
That's true, but like I feel like you don't hear about that as much. Gundam, always hear like it's lumped into the general conversation of giant anime robots. Whereas Transformers, it never really gets classified as anything other than like Transformers. It is its own kind of unique thing in the realm of Western fandom. There's no subculture you can kind of pop it into other than relic of the 80s.
It's associated with like TMNT and like He-Man and stuff like that. But like that's like 80s like 80s toy-based shows.
Hot Wheels, though, I don't know if there's really a Hot Wheels fandom.
I think there is, but I've never like directly interacted with them. Mainly because
Cody could probably teach us.
Everybody from the toy fandoms I am in always tells me that like Hot Wheels people are really weird and potentially toxic, and I'm like, I trust you, but also I don't know if you're true because I have no direct experience with that.
You never know. You never know. You only know until something happens.
I just know I think the story behind Hot Wheels is kind of interesting, and I like buying Hot Wheels Batmobiles.
Very specific subgenre, but one I can get behind.
Yeah, I got the 66 one the other day.
Man,
you know that car was like custom made in a week.
Oh, well, we kind of expected because like everything was kind of rushed back in the day.
Yeah, that show was fucking slapped together, and it really doesn't even look like it. It has its own unique vibe. I love the. Yeah. I never talk about it, but I do love Batman 66. I would give anything to read like a comic or a manga that's like Batman 66 meets Kamen Rider 1971.
Pretty sure there's like fan art of it out there.
Oh god, that would be Boss Mess.
Boss Baby.
I've never seen that movie, and I'm kind
of... You shouldn't.
I'm just gonna say I'm kind of glad about that. Isn't Kevin Spacey the Boss Baby?
No, that's Alec Baldwin, which is much better.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've already got one embarrassing Alec Baldwin movie in my life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Yeah, that's my fucking Transformers the movie.
Oh my God.
That's the one for my generation.
I remember watching the old Nostalgia Critic video on it and just being like,
yeah. And I loved that movie, and I hadn't seen it in years, but I remembered at the time when that video came out, that was where I was, and I watched it, and like half that movie is him just going, they're putting too much effort into this. It's Thomas the fucking Tank Engine, and I'm like, but that's what kind of makes it great. Why are you mad that they put effort into the movie?
Here's the thing. Thomas the Tank Engine had effort put into it in its very core. The amount of world building in Thomas the Tank Engine that is specific and like you can chart a map on that island.
Mm-hmm. And like Thomas fans are actually super into that kind of stuff. There are Thomas lore channels that I have found in the last couple of years and followed. And
there's a Thomas lore channel I'm subscribed to, and it's like, damn, it's cool. I think I may have shown it to you and Cody.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first ones that sent me down that rabbit hole the other year. But
I should get into Thomas, but just like too many episodes, and I have already other stuff I want to get into before.
I also discovered through that guy that just like Thomas fans don't like the Thomas movie for completely different reasons. They see it as like a mess compared to the show at the time the movie came out.
Yeah, because ultimately the Thomas movie is like, oh, the world Thomas lives in is an alternate magical fantasy world. And it's like, no, the world Thomas lives in is just an island off the coast of England, and we just personify the engines for storybook reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's like if like Thomas is British, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like the movie is very much how an American Hollywood studio views Thomas. Of like, oh, it's bad, oh, it's fantastical, but it's like it's really the British view it as no, this is real shit, man.
Mm-hmm. And see, as a kid, because I first saw that movie when I was real little, I never had a problem with that because it helped me contextualize the idea of like, no, Thomas is real, it's out there, I just can't reach it because it's in an alternate world. Like, I always dug shit like that because making it an alternate world made it somehow feel more real to me. Like, no, it exists out there in the cosmos, I just can't get to it.
Actually, speaking of children's shows, you've been seeing that Teletubbies dog that's been going around?
Are they doing a Teletubbies reboot?
No, this is just people found some old screen caps of like Teletubbies, and people point out this dog. I don't think I've ever seen this dog until today, but it's a really good dog.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't thought about Teletubbies in maybe 20 years, but holy shit, that is a good dog.
That's a good dog.
Yeah.
Solid ass dog.
Yeah, I remember like Teletubbies and the House of Mouse cartoon are very interlinked in my brain for like I think
God, I miss the House of Mouse so much.
Genuinely?
Like, that show was so good.
You think of how crossover Disney wants to be, they bring it back. You
Here's
know?
the thing.
On Disney Plus, what the fuck?
Okay, House of Mouse should be the easiest fucking little project for Disney Plus to do because they have all the shorts. They have all the Disney shorts. All they need to do is make like 30 to 40
shorts since the show ended.
But like all you need is like 30 to 40 like 2 to 3 minute like gaggy crossover bits, and you just play that on a loop and you just click it on Disney Plus, and it's just like short House of Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shorts would actually work really well with like the House of Mouse formula.
Well, I mean, that's what House of Mouse was originally. It was 2 shorts, book ended by a short kind of sitcom-y story involving the Mickey characters hosting a nightclub.
Yeah.
So I just searched it on Disney Plus to make sure because I didn't want anybody actuallying me in the comments. House of Mouse is definitely not on Disney Plus, but you know what is on Disney Plus and comes up when you search House of Mouse?
House of Villains?
Man of the House, the 1995 Disney Channel original movie starring Chevy Chase and I forget the kid's name, the kid from Home Improvement.
Thomas Taylor Johnson.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas or something like that.
Jonathan Taylor Johnson, I think.
Yeah, the heartthrob of the 90s.
I recently listened to, like, a couple months ago, I listened to a podcast episode on that from a Disney Plus related podcast. And, like, they just, like, lost their shit on how bad that movie was. Man. They hated
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept saying Johnson.
Also, have you seen what he looks like lately?
No, I don't want to see what children look like.
I mean, he looks like a grown-ass adult.
That's just a man.
That's a recent picture of him from COVID times. This is like paparazzi photos of him I've just stumbled across.
That's a real-ass adult.
Yeah, that is man. Also, look at this, like, funny, like, so I don't know who made this, but someone just made, like, I think it's Quad Combat, or like the guy in the Mortal Kombat 4, he just pointed at people. Just
I'm gonna now I gotta make the thumbnail Quan Chi pointing at Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh man, that's the dude who's in the Quan Chi everywhere Twitter, right?
Yeah, like MK4 arcade cabinets. Yeah.
Show me Quan Chi at the Brawl for All.
Yeah, when's Quan Chi gonna be in like Mortal Kombat 1 already? I think they finalized the roster for Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
I got a commercial for it earlier that's just recreating the Mortal Monday commercial for Mortal Kombat, like the original first game, which like makes sense, And, like Dave Bautista is like declaring everyone like no, calm down, and everyone just going nuts and running around, and it kind of like it's like okay, you know what, this is nostalgia bait, but I really like it.
Yeah, no, this is a Twitter account that just finds pictures of the Mortal Kombat 4 arcade cabinet where the guy's just staring at you, and it's hilarious.
Oh man, when's that custom sticker set for the Fortnite arcade cabinet toy coming out? I'm gonna make that. That's gonna be in the background of all my figure photography.
Buster, you do know that if we ever get modular headquarters and we have an arcade, we're getting a Mortal Kombat 4 cabinet just for this man's face.
Yeah, I know the game is mid apparently, but no, we're getting that game.
Oh my god, look at this photo of Carl Urban.
Yeah, is this like is this like Armor Core?
I think so.
Hold on, let me look at
celebrities and going to nerd stores and taking awkward photos with their hauls like this. I swear I've seen every celebrity have a photo of some kind like this.
Here's the thing. This is definitely Japan because that's a Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just in Japan. Is that Mega Man Battle Network? Like a Battle Network poster in the back?
No.
There's a fucking slime from Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Okay, so Ultraman Kaiju. Like they just bought Ultra
these
Kaiju.
are all mobile suits. These are all Gundam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking the guy with the cowboy hat with the peace sign on it. I don't know who that is, but he's buying a goddamn Baltan.
There's a
and
Zaku.
also, I think next to him is the Blade Driver.
What?
Okay, so this is definitely after Devil May Cry 2, because there's a Devil May Cry 2 poster in the corner.
Wait a minute, we can easily figure out what year this is just by looking up what year Blade happened.
Yeah. I think it's like 2004.
Yeah, it aired from 04 to 05, so it has to be somewhere in there.
Dino Thunder, the original Japanese Sentai. When did it come out? Because I think that's the poster.
2002.
Yeah, because look at that poster, but in the middle of the two of them,
Abba Ranger was 03 to 04.
Yeah, that looks like Abba Ranger poster in the middle between the two guys.
Yeah, shit.
I don't know, like man, I wish we could just
Look
like
at
go
us, internet detectiving this shit.
Yeah, detectiving just like niche Carl Urban like hauls. Also, have any of you seen Dread 2012?
That's
really
movie.
good.
We got to get Carl Urban on the show so we can ask him all kinds of questions about that movie and this photo.
Yeah. I recently like saw it for like Hal's podcast, and it was like really good.
Remember how Robin Williams played a serial killer in a movie, and he was working at basically a fake Kmart? Yeah. And they needed a toy for a kid to find and him talk about it. So he brought over to his own Neon Genesis Evangelion toy.
I didn't know that was his. I've just seen the clip. Holy shit.
Robin Williams was a big fucking nerd. Why do you think his daughter's name is Zelda?
Oh, I've always heard he was a gamer, but I didn't know he was like a holy shit. Robin, why did you have to go?
That's also why he mispronounced it on purpose to piss off other nerds.
What a legend. God, now I'm sad.
Oh, I miss him every day.
Here's the Robin. Yeah. Genuinely, like this kind of like seeing celebrities as nerds is like it is that kind of like, oh, they're just like us kind of thing, but it's a little bit more like it's more relatable than just like, look at this celebrity. He eats toast just like you. It's like, yeah, whatever. But seeing like, no, Carl Urban's into Gundam.
Henry Cavill building a computer. Thank you very much.
Henry Cavill's into War K, and I have a feeling the only reason he became a big enough actor is because like it takes a lot of money to be into Warhammer 40K.
You know Tyrese Gibson?
He's from Fast and Furious?
Yeah, and he's also the African American soldier in the Transformers movies.
Of course you would mention that.
But I bring that up because he's actually a massive Transformers fan.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, he got invited to BotCon one year, and his only condition besides a basic appearance fee for coming was all the dealers stay in the dealer room an extra hour after closing so that I can shop without being hounded by fans.
And you know what? They all probably were like, you know what? Fuck yeah, let's do it for him.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm trying to think.
The only problem with that would be it'd be post-con, so like all the good deals were probably taken up.
Yeah, but apparently he like bought a car full of stuff. So, like, his appearance fee didn't even cover his gas getting home.
But you know what? That's the kind of thing that's what I like to see, like, with people getting into, like, a property with, like, a hardcore fandom. Mm-hmm. Like, give them all the shit you want. I love that the guy who played Decade still loves Decade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I've said for years, Masahiro Inoue is a fucking international treasure. And, like, I don't like Decade the show, but I love Decade the character. I will always be down for Decade coming back and shit.
And, like, we can give the man shit, but Jason David Frank, he loved Power Rangers. He was like, yo, Power Rangers, that's me. I'm Power Rangers. That's my flesh and blood, you know?
Oh man, have either of you read the MMPR 30th anniversary special that came out this week?
Not
is
yet.
That the one with? It came out. Is that the one with like the multicolored ranger jumping on the cover?
Yeah.
No, I saw it and I didn't read it.
It's basically a short story from every writer who has worked on the comics so far, except what's his name? Higgins didn't come back, but everybody else came back and did a short story. And there's a really good short story, I think it's by Matt Groom, that is about Tommy and Kat's wedding day that like really got to me.
That's wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any like Dino Fury stories or?
No, it's all MMPR focused because it's specifically meant to be an MMPR 30th anniversary special.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the last anniversary special had, like, a bunch of stories, so I'm like, why are we reducing it for the 30th one? I don't know.
Also, I'm looking at fucking House of Mouse Google images.
Oh my god.
And I've realized the reason I don't generally care about the Disney cast of characters on principle is just because they all had very specific outfits for the show that just reek of early 2000s that they never wear anywhere else. But this is the image of them that I have in my head. Like Mickey in this fucking business casual outfit, the fucking club manager outfit that he's wearing on this poster. That's my Mickey Mouse, damn it.
See, I always liked like Hawaiian shirt and vacation shorts 50s Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I just love how goofy. It's just like the no ties. That's the thing that just cements it in the early 2000s. Just like no tie.
We don't wear ties. We're much more casual and cool than that. We're gonna wear bowling shirts instead.
Goofy's wearing a tie, but Donald and Mickey aren't, and they're like the managers, and that's just fun.
Yeah.
Like in the 2000s, there was a certain idea of you get to a certain level in a company and you don't have to wear a tie anymore. It becomes fashionable not to wear a tie when you get to a certain level of executive. And that only existed from like 01 to 06, I want to say.
And now if you're high enough in a company, you just wear a hoodie.
Yeah. I'm a man of the people. I wear a disgusting hoodie.
That costs actually $300.
I'm going to wear a ball cap at all of our press events so that I appear much more common and approachable.
Look, Kevin Feige is a man.
He is that. He is a man. He is a human man. I can definitely assume that about him. You know, I don't know anything about Kevin Feige as a person. I just know him as the front man for the Marvel announcements of the month. Which that's another thing I realized recently is he has been fucking quiet as a church mouse since the strikes kicked off. And I don't blame him, but also I'm like, man.
It may also just be he's high enough in the managerial thing that like even if he wants to be like say one thing or the other, he just realizes it's probably better if I just shut my mouth and wait for all this to blow over.
Yeah, which does make him better than most of the executives in this whole thing.
Oh yeah. Have you heard the conspiracy theory about why they just haven't relented yet?
Maybe, but I also don't know exactly what you're talking about, you know.
Okay. So basically writers and actors want residuals from streaming content. That's a big thing they're asking for, right? Well, in order to do that, the companies will have to release streaming numbers. Say how many people are actually watching the products at a given point in time. And what people are theorizing is the studios don't want to agree to that, because if they agree to that, they will have to release those numbers to the public. And if they release those numbers to the public, stockholders will realize that the studios were lying to them about their numbers, and they would be charged with fraud.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but shit, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's always been eerily suspicious that studios don't talk about the fucking
Numbers.
streaming numbers properly.
Unless it's like, this is number one this week. It's like, yeah, sure, but if one thing got 4,000 views and the best thing got 5,000 views, that still is technically number one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that theory too. And if that happens, that would blow the entire entertainment industry out.
Oh, it would so hard.
Honestly, deserved.
Yeah, and here's the thing: people go like, "Oh, the movie
for a shakeup." If I'm being honest,
if that happens, people will be like, "Oh, the movie industry is gonna die." It's like, no, it won't. A24 exists.
A lot of companies.
A lot of smaller companies will still exist because they agreed to the terms. I think the biggest thing would be Congress and the stuff would have a bigger eye on mergers and things, and would probably aim to break up Disney and Warner Brothers, maybe Paramount, maybe Viacom. Maybe they'll break up Viacom, but break up those three big companies into smaller ones, you know?
Yeah. Like, to me, like, I don't think art will, like, because art can never die. Like, even with all these threats, even with all these, like, problems, like, people will still create, either for money or for, like, just the passion of it all, you know? There'll always be things to experience, you know? That's just my wishy-washy take on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Yep. Support your writers, support your actors. Hello? There was just no noise, and I was going like, oh.
I had nothing to say after that. I was just like, yeah, that's what you do. You support the actors. Did you make your regular monthly donation to the strike funds, ladies and gentlemen? I fucking did.
I have no money and I cannot support.
Well, damn it, Boingo. What use are you in this capitalist machine we live in if you can't donate money to people who can't afford to fucking fight for their own rights?
I'm just a goofy, silly guy. I make people laugh.
Oh, you're just a little guy?
I'm just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
Just a little guy. Oh, just a little guy.
Is that a song? Do I not know about that song?
It sounds similar. I don't know.
There is a song. Buster was singing the melody. I'm just a gigolo. Everywhere I go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember now.
David Lee Roth, baby.
I remember the tune of it. I'm just like, yeah. What else? I don't know. We've kind of talked about a lot of shit today. As usual.
I'm well buzzed at this point.
Oh my god, you're a bee.
Yeah, I'm a bee. You remember that song? Remember that song that was popular for 2 weeks?
You actually went with the rhythm of the song.
Fuck you.
Fucking quoting Will.i.am up in here.
Remember when the Black Eyed Peas were everywhere for like a year and a half, and now nobody talks about them anymore?
Yeah, they were like all over the Nick Kids' Choice Awards.
I remember their songs were featured in multiple movies that year. They first had their big comeback after Fergie's solo career died out, when they had the album with oh god, what was the lead signal? Oh, gotta get that boom boom boom. You remember that song?
Yeah, I remember a bunch of Pokemon Let's Plays using it.
Yeah, that song was everywhere for a while. Like, I think that song was in fucking G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra and G-Force. Those movies were both in theaters at the same time. Holy shit.
Oh god, G-Force. I watched that movie.
G-Force would, honest thought, G-Force would be a lot better if it was a stylized cartoon with a toy line.
Yeah, but you know what? Fucking real childhood story for me. Okay. My parents weren't into paying for going to the movie theater a lot when I was a kid. It was like 1 or 2 movies a year you get to go to because it's a huge, expensive thing after popcorn and everything. So they'd usually try and bundle it. They'd usually try and like wait for times when my sister and I both wanted to go see a movie. So I don't even remember what year it was that this happened. The year these movies came out. But there was a time when I think I even mentioned this a minute ago. G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra and G-Force were both in theaters at the same time. I wanted to see G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. My sister wanted to see G-Force. So I can remember fucking walking her to the theater to see G-Force and getting out of Rise of Cobra somehow before G-Force ended and hearing that fucking song blaring out from the theater while I stood outside of the screening room waiting for her to come out so we could go to the car. Oh,
I think the bigger revelation is that G-Force is somehow longer than a G.I. Joe movie. That's a big revelation.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm misremembering this.
No, it sounds pretty plausible, especially because G-Force is shit.
Here's the thing: that song may have been in the credits. It may have been like you may have only had to wait there like a minute or two, and your little kid brain was like, "This is taking forever."
Probably. I'm trying to look up the runtime of G-Force right now.
Oh my god. Bro, the G-Force Renaissance is back, baby!
G-Force is an hour and 28 minutes.
Damn.
How long is Rise of Cobra?
I'm looking it up.
You're
An hour and 58 minutes! What the fuck?
What happened? Was there just like technical issues at the theater?
I don't know. Maybe my memory is just completely fucked. I am free beers deep now.
Great. We get drunk and watch G-Force when.
And just to remind listeners who are going to leave snotty comments, I am a lightweight.
Hey, don't talk yourself short like that.
Yeah, you're Martin Short. Why did I say that?
I love text from Super.
I'm thinking about like just now. G-Force got me thinking about a bunch of shitty 2000s kids movies.
Oh
and
man,
how,
is
like,
that going to be the new Buster Corp sub-series of reviews?
No, there's already thousands of videos on like we need to talk about this movie. How weird is this movie? Well, this movie's a hidden gem. No, man.
Oh, what were they thinking? What a bunch of willy bum bum.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh, speaking of AVGN shit. So like, I decided I didn't watch the AVGN movie like I kept threatening to when I was sick. Because I was sick this week. I didn't watch it yet. Big mistake. But I did decide on a Discord call friends. I keep getting recommended this rap battle between JonTron and Scott the Waz. So we watched it. It keeps getting recommended. It's like this epic rap battle. Is it
actually them or is it actors playing them?
Actors playing them, which is already like a surreal shit.
Yeah.
Basically, the entire joke of the video is that JonTron only raps for a minute, and then AVGN is the actual opponent Scott's facing. And it's so weird. And like my friend was like,
"Fuck JonTron, his racist ass."
Oh yeah,
they
I just looked it up. The thumbnail is the best thing I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
the guy playing Scott looks like a homunculus.
Yeah, it's so surreal, and it's like my friend thought like, "Oh, this is a terrible AVGN impression," except for the one Weezer joke they made, where it's like he channeled the AVGN in Venom, and I just like that. I keep remembering that moment because I just like that's honestly the only reason I went to rewatch it recently. Where it's like, I want to hear that again. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. It's just surreal. I'm like, is this what YouTube is now?
Whenever you're ready to watch the AVGN movie, though, definitely hit me up because I still haven't seen that, and I would kind of like to, even though I know it's not going to be good.
Yeah, you're free. Like
from what I've heard, it's okay, just not like high cinema. It's meant to be a fan service movie.
Yeah, but like, is it gonna be a good fan service movie? Because there's good fan service movies and then there's bad fan service movies. Feel me? I guess he doesn't feel me. Okay.
Wow, I'm watching the video now. In motion, the guy playing JonTron looks like 13 years old.
He may as well. Like, he does look like some guy I'd see in high school. What? What have I done?
Oh my god, the guy playing fucking the guy playing James Nintendo Nerd looks like the main character from fucking Bill Burr's Netflix show.
It does look. Yeah. I guess what like also threw me off is that later in the video you see like freaking all the supporting characters and friends played by other actors, and that just like I don't know why it's one thing to do like the main YouTubers, but just for freaking recreating the looks of their side characters and friends, that just feels like I'm going to hell. I don't know why.
Murphy from F is for Family is who I was thinking of before somebody leaves a godforsaken comment.
Oh, F is for Family, yeah. I think you were like into that show for a while.
I love that show. It's great.
Yeah. I remember you tweeting about it. Like, I don't know if it was when I first discovered you or like midway through. I don't know.
I finished it like I want to say the first summer break I was working at the college I work at, because I remember there was just like a week where nothing was happening in the building. I had nothing to do, so I just ended up like I had gotten behind. There were like 2 or 3 seasons I hadn't seen, so I just binged through the whole rest of the show because the final season had just come out as well.
Yeah. I watched BoJack. I really should watch more like good Netflix animated shows before it's just Netflix. I mean, well, I still have it. I don't know.
That's what torrenting is for as well, dude. Yeah. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, I will. I do like torrent. I just there's so many like Netflix is just dropping too much shit. They just dropped the Gamera show. I still have to finish the One Piece live action show. I still need to finish Super Giant Robot Brothers.
Wait, you started the One Piece live action show? How is that?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, then that's probably all we could say before we start acting like fucking assholes.
Chills, yeah. I tweeted some thoughts, and that's about all you'll get.
Just real quick, as a One Piece fan, I give it a thumbs up. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's already getting more people into the manga and anime.
Great, I'm gonna watch it and continue to never read the manga.
Here's the thing: you watch it and you get into One Piece, you're just gonna itch for it.
Yeah, you just keep itching.
You will.
No,
that's not what happens.
Do it so you can just
a baby.
You can just to justify watching the live action because you keep saying the main character looks like me.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to watch it. I want to find funny clips to go like, oh, Buster be like.
Oh my god. I just justify buying the SH figure arts.
Oh my god.
I'm still like surprised they did SH figure arts.
I'm actually kind of mad that the show is good and somewhat popular, because now I know that SH figure art isn't going to go on clearance anymore. I'm going to have to pay full price for it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think the show is popular with like the audience who doesn't collect SH figure arts. So, you know what I mean? Either way, like it's
that picks up an SH figure art and goes, "Why is this $80? I've never looked at a toy since I was 10 years old."
Yeah. Also, it's a One Piece thing. Of course, they're gonna keep it in stock. Especially because it's the main character. So.
Oh man! Speaking of fucking expensive ass toys and keeping them in stock, you know what I saw while I was perusing the Instagrams today?
What?
You saw Thirst Trap?
Well, I saw plenty of those, but I also saw that my local comic shop got the Sentinel Riobot Gurren Lagann in stock.
So what does it look like? Remind me.
It's a fucking really good figure of Gurren Lagann. Let me fucking Google real quick.
But like which form? Base form?
Oh, the base form, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I would really like to get that figure, but it typically goes for like $300, and I'm already out of spending money for this month.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll stay in stock for future months.
Yeah. Okay. There's a photo for you. They tend to just buy like one of a bunch of import stuff that's come out in the last couple of months, and have it there for purposes. Like they also posted a bunch of anime SHFs and a couple Nendoroids in that same photo.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of like Gurren Lagann, man, I really hope we get more news on the 4DX re-release soon. Like, I don't know. I'm really like the fact that we could see the movies soon in the theater again. Like that's too tantalizing, you know?
Oh, I forgot that that's happening. I'm gonna have to go to that. I haven't watched
Yeah.
any Gurren Lagann in like a couple of years because like I binged the whole show. I want to say in the mid 10s, and then a couple years later, I watched the second movie because it had a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't in the show in it.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched anything since because there hasn't been really any new material since. But I would like to go
The
back and
best.
rewatch it.
Yeah. And like that's kind of the reason I'm making you guys watch Gridman and Dynazenon, because it's like similar people worked on those shows. So
Yeah. By the way, Buster, congratulations on picking a not terrible show.
Ooh. Hint hint wink wink.
I'm 5 episodes in and I don't hate it. There's your update.
Yay! I'm pretty sure Boingo's just gonna binge it like the last minute.
Oh yeah, that's the Boingo way.
Well, I mean, I've already watched Gridman. In fact, I have.
Didn't you make a video on Gridman back in the day that got plagiarized?
I did get plagiarized. Like, it got similarized by another video.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The infamous stories.
When we're doing our opening thoughts on Gridman for AF, I should just fucking start reading out the script for fucking Mother's Basement's video.
That you would have to mention how Commandant Gaim is on your list.
Yeah.
That line haunts me to this day. I don't even hate Gaim. That's just a funny line to say.
I hate Jeff Fuse so much. Because I have history with that guy that predates that incident as well. From when he was temporarily in the procrastinators for a little bit. And was like, he didn't even really want to be there. They made every effort to be like accommodating and a friend to him. And he just didn't seem to care about being in the group. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's history there. So pretty much all I have to do is like briefly go over Gridman and then watch the sequel.
Dynazenon.
Yeah. Which I already made a video about, but like I just like we're gonna go all in, boys.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that you asked us to do both, actually, because like aren't they like fairly separate?
Without spoilers, there's a character that carries over.
Oh my
god. And I feel like
is Kaito in both shows?
No.
Oh my god, it's Gridman Black!
No, you'll see.
Yeah, but no, you mucked up the plans for my stuff, Buster. I was gonna suggest an anime, but I don't want to do 3 anime in a row, so.
I'm sorry. Like, but like,
don't apologize. I am ribbing you.
You know, we could just keep the streak going for a while. You could still suggest that anime, and I have an anime on my list I could go to.
Freaking the anime marathon for like Analytical Fanboys is like end of 2023.
Weeb arc.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: we all like anime. It's just that we just get so busy doing other things, we don't have time to watch anime. So this is just a perfect excuse to go like, "Hey, watch this anime. I've been meaning to watch this."
Yeah.
I've actually watched my anime all the way through. I'll have
No. I mean, I have too. I'm just.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I have been considering, because, like, just thinking, like, out loud, if Gridman Universe is coming out as soon, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I should make that, like, like, force you guys to watch it if it comes out before the AF recording.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
When's it coming out? I'm going to Google it.
October, but, like, could come out a bit earlier, so I'm like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's just not worry about it. Let's just watch the 2 seasons, and
it says it came out in March.
Yeah, and Japanese
Blu-ray.
Theaters. I'm talking Blu-ray digital release. Yeah, it came out literally a week before Shin Kamen Rider.
Did it get fucked by Shin Kamen Rider?
No, it actually outgrossed it for a while.
Yeah, digital release date is October 25th. We can't wait that long.
Yeah. And, like, I was just, like, I just keep thinking, like, will it come out a bit earlier?
Well, maybe we'll still ride that wave of hype for the movie coming out for U.S. fans.
And then we can just do components and talk about the movie.
Yeah. I really hope it gets like a theatrical release because I know like they're saying we have plans to do an American release, and I'm like, okay, and they haven't said anything. Some people are saying theatrical, some people are just saying it's a simple digital, some people are just saying Crunchyroll's just gonna dump it on their site. I don't know. I would really kill to see it in theaters.
I'll take a dump on Crunchyroll's site.
Yeah, frick Sony. All my homies hate Sony's anime monopoly.
You know the link you gave us was entirely paywalled, right? For Crunchyroll? The whole show is paywalled on there.
I completely forgot. I literally just Googled what's the first legal link for Gridman.
Yeah, so I went to the site you gave me to watch the last couple episodes of G-Witch, and I looked it up there, and I've been watching it there the whole time.
That's fair.
Is it a purple website, Vac?
It's a purple website that might be a numeral and then the name of the medium.
Well, here's the thing: the numeral website is no longer existing. They changed their name, so you may be watching a spoof.
I might. I just opened it and it's still working, so I don't care.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: if it's a spoof, it may be dangerous.
Well, damn, you got a better link for me, buddy?
Yeah, that's why I'm fucking asking, so I can give it to you, you dipshit.
Okay, please do. Thank you very much. You are a nice man. I take too much advantage of our friendship.
Oh, speaking of just fucking doing things, so I started editing the next video essay at like 11 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it for a couple hours. Get some of the audio and video done from the A-Pass, which is just me talking, and then I'll put B footage of like the show I'm talking about behind it. And it was about like 5 a.m. when I realized, oh shit, I just did the whole thing. So that's all edited.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
So yeah,
I mean, look at it this way: at least you don't have a job that makes that terrifying when that happens.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to ask a dangerous question.
Oh, I'm a dangerous zombie.
Okay, have you guys heard of Faust, Love of the Damned?
I've heard of Faust, the fictional organization from Kamen Rider.
I've heard of Faust, the Guilty Gear Strive character who is my main.
Alright, no, this is a very edgy 90s comic that got adapted into a movie, and it's kind of become a meme among some of my friends.
Oh, you Zoomers and your fucking memes.
Well, no, you gotta understand, this movie, it's kind of a... Well, thanks, dog. I heard a dog bark. I don't know if the freaking audio caught that.
I like dogs.
You like them, or you don't?
I like dogs. I have 2.
Yeah, I guess that dog is barking at me because I'm outside.
Good dog. Say hello.
Hello, dog. Okay.
What kind of dog is it?
I don't know. I can't see.
Oh, damn.
Because it's too dark out, but I'm standing out anyway because I don't want to be in the house with lots of talky people while I record this podcast. Anyway, friggin' Faust, Love the Damn. It's a movie adaptation of an edgy comic, and it's very funny unintentionally.
Okay, I will say this real quick. Looking at the soundtrack from the movie, it kind of slaps.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is like a bunch of nu metal. It's great.
Everyone I Love Is Dead by Typo Negative.
Holy shit, the fucking suit from this movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's like
it looks like something out of Goosebumps.
Yeah. There's actually some great practical effects in the movie. Yeah.
This is like, when did this movie come out? This is 2000? No, it says 2000. Yeah, this is fucking this is Guyver times.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, this seems like it'd be a very fun time.
Oh yeah, I've watched it twice, and it's a great it's not good, but it's very fun.
Buster, this should be your next choice for AF. I'm just saying.
I'm considering it. I'm considering picking it for an AF eventually, but then again, I don't.
Double up on Buckaroo Banzai.
We'll see. Well,
yeah, I picked a weird movie that's on the level of Buckaroo Banzai yet?
I don't know. I don't know if you have any movies that are at the level of Buckaroo
Let's
Banzai.
look at the Local Fanboys playlist and find out.
That's true. I'm a little too normie for that, aren't I?
Yeah. Hey,
this guy
we're infecting you. We're infecting you.
Yeah, we're gonna infect you with the weird gene.
Honestly, I kind of just want to watch this because it looks fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, you'll love it, Boingo. You'll love it. Although content warning, it does get a bit graphic for those squeamish. So, okay, you guys discussed Wizards?
What?
Wizards, the Ralph Bashki movie.
Oh yeah,
that was a Boingo pick.
Yeah, that was a Boingo
course.
pick.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if it's a weird pick, it was probably me.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, and here's why Boingo and I are still friends after all these years, is every time Boingo picks something weird, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I'm not going to seek out more stuff like this, but this is cool. I'm glad I saw it.
Except Beck.
God damn it.
You should have had me read the manga.
That would be too long.
Well, maybe one day we can return to Beck.
Beck
yeah,
the return.
Maybe we can just read the manga now that we have a month.
Yeah.
Beckcast again. Beckcast Rebirth. Beckcast the New 52.
I still don't know why, like, I feel like it was too crazy to start off, alright, Analytical Fanboys is back, read 90 chapters of Chainsaw Man.
I got through it, primarily because it was the summer and I had nothing to do at work, but I got through it.
It was the winter!
Oh yeah, that's right. But I still had nothing to do at work. I remember. I was literally... I read through like 30 chapters of that one day, just spending the whole day sitting in the middle of a classroom nobody was using.
Yeah. Well, granted, also the chapters are like stupid short compared to like other comics and stuff. Yeah. Like that's what I kind of like. I think that's a lot of the appeal of like shonen stuff, where it's like, oh, it's short, it's easy to digest, but it's still like a lot of like when you string it all together, there's a bigger narrative.
It's almost like it's meant to be a thing that catches the interests of schoolboys on a weekly basis.
Yeah, some sort of.
Like it's very distinct going back and forth between our two picks. Just looking back,
yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I'm a man of simple tastes.
You're a man of Y the Last Man and G.I. Joe.
Fuck you.
Look, I was thinking about why The Last Man is like a little post-mortem to our episode, and I'm like, that's fine. I don't know, that's all I got. I'm like, I don't really have any like grand takeaway from it. I'm like, yeah, that was a book I read.
And I remember reading through it going like, oh no, Buster's gonna be so mad this episode.
I was half mad. I still I didn't like hate it, but there was a lot I didn't like, I'll put it that way. I really had one argument relating to the main protagonist, and even then, that was pretty quick, and we both understood our points. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you to listen to Mouth Sounds by Neil Cicerega.
Yeah, and that was actually a great fucking choice, because I love those albums now.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are some absolute weird ones? Oh, Ghost Stories dub.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why the dub? Did you guys watch like the sub for context or no?
Do you not know what the Ghost Stories dub is, Buster?
I do know what it is. But I'm like,
yeah, we watched the dub for the meme.
Fair. Who picked Dodgeball?
I did.
That was boring.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that in class and being like, this sure does feel like an Adam Sandler comedy without...
In class?
I don't know, like, I think it was in high school, like, they were watching it. I barely remember it, but the only thing I remember is that it felt like an Adam Sandler comedy without Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it is a very raunchy, awkward 2000s comedy, but it's still good. It still has a good core to it.
Yeah, so it's one of the better Sandler comedies. I know Sandler's not even in the movie, but like, you know.
Thumpasaurus. I made you listen to Thumpasaurus and Fishbone.
Yeah.
You didn't even need to make me listen to an Analytical Fanboys to listen to Thumpasaurus.
I need to pick an album again sometime.
Yeah, I've been thinking about picking albums. Or
maybe I should do that for my next pick. I should have us listen to a Smash Mouth album.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we have enough time. We could do the whole discography. They only have like what, 5 or 6 albums?
4.
Yeah, I'm like that would just be a very easy thing to do, to like do entire discographies. Now, this is just like Analytical Fanboys prep, or just a look back in the future of Analytical Fanboys in the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the fucking Inside Baseball episode of Modular Components.
You mean every other episode?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't listen to this show.
Yes, you do. You have to make shorts for it.
I'm just waiting for something to make me giggle while I'm scrolling through Instagram.
Oh, you guys discuss her?
I think that was my pick, actually.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like, I unfortunately have shitty memories of that movie because a guy I used to respect, one of the last videos they made was about her, and then they got outed as a very shitty person, so I'm like...
No, that's
I don't know.
unfortunate. No,
Yeah,
that movie is real good. You should rewatch
Yeah.
it and cleanse those memories.
I really should, especially because the movie itself is about, like, healing from shitty relationships. So,
Mhm.
I also made you watch Danger 5.
Oh yeah, that show was
you
fun.
guys watched The Founder? The McDonald's documentary?
Yeah, that was a
Hey,
bad pick.
one of mine.
Yeah, that does feel like a very
love that
bad
movie. That was the beginning of the era where we just got out of after the Flash of, oh hey, Michael Keaton's a good old guy actor.
Yeah, well, that was Birdman was the first one of that era.
Was Birdman the first one? I thought The Founder came before it.
No, it was Birdman, Founder, and Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like The Founder. It's a solid biopic.
Yeah.
One of the better, like, biopics of recent memories.
I just realized this. I actually saw those in reverse release order because I saw Homecoming in theater and I went, "Oh man, this is really good." I remember people saying The Founder is really good. I should check that out. And I watched it on DVD. And then, like a year after that, I finally went and watched Birdman.
I don't know why. I haven't watched Birdman yet, but I over the release year, 2014. I always remember it came out in 2014.
It doesn't feel like a 2014 movie. It feels like 16, 17 to me, honestly.
I mean, just
And that's not because that's when I saw
time.
it. Just like in style and tone, it feels ahead of its time.
Yeah, I do want to see it, especially to cleanse my palate of the flesh.
Ooh. Criminal, you should be Pete Castagnoli.
Interesting. But, like, here's the thing. I've watched Baby's Day Out way too many times, and my friends wanted to watch it for the Saturday movie night, and I'm like, okay, sure.
It is a hood classic. Don't you fucking badmouth that movie.
What movie? I didn't hear it.
Baby's Day Out. The John Hughes written comedy about a baby's day out.
I love Baby's Day Out. Unironically, I had that movie on VHS as a kid, and we watched it a lot.
See, like, I wanted to defend it, but also, like, I just couldn't. Like, oh man, I feel too old now.
I haven't seen it since I was like 12. Actually, that's a lie. I guess you can count the fucking Mr. Plinkett review as the last time I saw it, and I was like 13, 14. But I have good memories of that movie.
Yeah, I have good memories too. I just like, and I still like cherish those good memories, but like, I don't really like it as a movie, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, and I'm like, I can't enjoy babies having a day out.
Hey, you can't be talking about getting old when you're actually young. That's my shtick.
True.
Why don't you stick it up your ass?
Oh,
Yeah.
I will one of these days.
That's confirmed, everybody. Vac will one day get pegged.
Yeah. Maybe by
I'm a fan of magic. Isn't that obvious?
Speaking of getting pegged.
I'm 90% sure Ileana Rasputin would only get sexual gratification through pegging.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Here's the thing: you can be dominant without having to peg someone.
That's true. Maybe she's just a really aggressive top.
True. I don't know. I'm trying to
real quick. Ileana seems like the kind of person who would bind their partner and then force them to do oral.
Oh,
like
yeah,
hours.
she totally fucking ties you to the bedpost.
Is demonetized.
And we're far enough in, they aren't gonna listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
This ain't TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok schlock.
What's our average fucking retention time anyway? Like 10 minutes tops?
Ha, tops.
Tops
We should get a
freaking tops.
database back on. No, he's too busy.
Let him get through this year. Let him actually fucking do the shit. He said he thinks it's possible for him to finish his career by the end of this year. And I want to see him do it. I genuinely am at the sidelines cheering him on right now.
Yeah, same. I just say that because I just saw like the Analytical Fanboys episodes of like that have been the power reviews, and I'm like, yeah, he's a cool guy.
That being said, if he does finish it by the end of the year, I still would like to have him on as soon as DRPR is finished to have like an end of series debrief with him.
Yeah, or we can freaking finish off the saga, season 0, season 1, season 2, season 3. Yeah, man, like I feel like there's not gonna be anything like power reviews ever again. And if there was, like, I feel like anything that could come close to it is either like they retired or ended.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people making content in a similar vein. Gotta look at like Civi,
Yeah,
who has like weird lore in all of his videos.
Yeah,
I mean,
miss
Scott is technically like that, and he shows no signs of stopping.
Oh yeah, I just associate Scott with like more humor based, and I feel like that power reviews is more thematic.
Yeah, Power Reviews is like the one fucking YouTube review show that got serious storylines right. Like, I love Linkara, but I think we can all agree for as much as he tries to have serious storylines, they always come off as just a little too kitschy to work.
I mean, some of them work, some of them don't. It's like a half and half for me.
Yeah. Whereas Power Reviews, it is a slow and well done enough build that by the time you're fully in it, you're fully with it. You're like, yeah, I want to see this through to the end.
Yeah.
I like
good
these
shit.
characters. I want to see what happens to Agent Y, damn it.
Yeah. I wish there was good Tokusatsu fan films besides Power Review.
I do too. I mean, there technically are, but like they're all in Japanese and untranslated.
Yeah. I need to watch Hideaki Anno's Return of Ultraman eventually.
I want to watch Hideaki Anno's Cutie Honey. I still haven't done that.
Yeah.
I need to watch that. I need to watch the Sailor Moon Tokusatsu. There's so much Tokusatsu out there I still haven't seen. It is a vast and ever expanding sea. I don't know. I kind of got reawakened to that fact today because I finally watched that video Hazel made about Tokusatsu ladies, and oh man, that was like, oh yeah, there's a whole fucking other side to all this I never even think about.
Oh man, how was your week, Vac?
It was okay. I spent a lot of it dealing with car bullshit. But it was all worth it because my new car is finally insured and registered in my name, which means that the fucking saga that began, back in April of me having an accident and having to total out my old car is finally over.
Hey, haha, hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Now you're going to total this car.
Yeah. Oh boy. It just took all week because last week I got paid. So I went and signed up for insurance. Although like none of the major insurance companies will take me anymore because I have to have this thing called an SR22 because due to a fucking payment error, I technically wasn't insured at the time of my accident. So I have to have this special kind of insurance for driving without insurance, which is essentially like a state-sponsored fuck you fee of $100 a month that I have to have for 3 years. And because of that, none of the major insurance companies will take me. Some of them tried to pawn me off onto their subsidiaries, but I would have had to pay all the money for the year up front, which there's no way in hell I can afford in a given month. And I ended up like shopping around with my mom, and we found that if we register my new car under her name and just list me as a driver, then some companies would still take me, and it could be significantly less if we both signed up under the same company, and I just agreed to pay her like half of what the insurance is every month. So we did that, and then I went to register my car at the local tax office at the same place where I registered my first car all those years ago. And the first day I'm there, I'm driving around, I can't find it, and I'm like, oh, it's on the whole other side of downtown from where I'm at, so I have to go there. Because we don't have a huge downtown where I'm at, but we have a fairly big one. So I drive over there, and because of traffic, by the time I get there or get close to there, I'm like, shit, I gotta get to work because it's the week after Labor Day. I couldn't have gone there on the weekend. I couldn't have gone there on Monday. I have to go there on a weekday before work, which luckily I don't have to be to work until 10:30 a.m. So I've got a fair bit of time, but it's almost work time on Tuesday. So I'm like, shit, I guess I'll just fucking go tomorrow. So I go on Wednesday and I'm like, why is the parking lot blocked off? Almost every entrance is blocked off except for this one. But I go in and I park and I walk up and I see like, oh, there's a sign here that says we recently finished as of I think it was June. It said they finished constructing and opening their new building, which was a construction project that had been going on since before I moved to this area. It finished up in June, and now all their offices are moved to the new building, which is like a 10-minute walk from the old building. So I'm like, okay, I'll walk over there. Oh, it's technically free buildings. It's two offices and a parking garage that are all connected by like second-story bridges. And there's a sign out front that says this building has all this stuff, this building has all this stuff. I look over it, I go like, oh, this one building, this looks like this office is where I'm supposed to go. So I go there, they go, no, you have to go to this other office that's in the other building. After walking up a couple flights of stairs and waiting like 10, 15 minutes in line. So I'm like, okay. I go to the other place, they go, after waiting another 10, 15 minutes in line, they go, oh, you do come here, but only after you get paperwork from this other office, which is 2 floors up from us. So I'm like, okay. I go there, and right as I'm getting to the front of the line, I get an alarm to tell me, like, oh, you have to leave for work soon. So I'm like, shit, okay, we'll do this again tomorrow. Thursday, I go to this place, and luckily, there's no line at the last place I was in line at the day before, and I'm able to get my paperwork. I go down to the other office, I get the stuff. Buster just left the call, so I'm guessing they're done for tonight. Check them out on YouTube at Buster Corp and Bluesky, bustercorp.bsky.social. But I go to this place, I get my paperwork. I pay the property taxes, because you have to pay property taxes in South Carolina. And then I go to the DMV, and the DMV is a whole hassle and a half, because this is my first time registering a car on my own. So they give me this big stack of paperwork to fill out at the DMV, and I do the best I can with it, but there's a bunch of mistakes when I get called up to the window that we have to fix. But eventually, inevitably, it is finally registered under my name. And now I can hopefully put this bullshit behind me in over the rest of the year. I still need to get an oil change on it, because like I've had it for the whole summer and I haven't gotten an oil change. I've been checking my oil, I've been keeping up with it, but like it could use an oil change. It could use some topping off on fuels and stuff like that. But I'll take care of that next payday, and then hopefully it should be. I don't have to think about this fucking car and all its issues anymore after the end of this month. That's what I'm looking at now.
Deedy damn.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
What about him?
He's a character.
That's true. He's a fictional character in a book that was written by people thousands of years ago. Hot take.
I mean, it's pretty cold from you.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's kind of cold from us. It's kind of cold from modular media in general. We've been like, we don't tend to harp on it super hard, but like,
well, I mean, that's because
I think it is
like
pretty clear that this is a fairly atheistic channel.
And here's the thing: you're very atheistic. I'm very agnostic. I'm very just kind of like, the stories are useful. Who knows? But I also like mythology and all of its forms. You know?
Yeah. Like I've often said, there's things I like in the Bible, there's things I don't like. I just don't like Christianity because they're unwilling to admit that it's myths.
Well, here's the other thing I've kind of like noticed just by listening to like people talking about like Jewish people talking about their faith, where a lot of Jewish faith for a lot of people is like literally it's questioning God. It's not just going like, oh yeah, God's good and great and wonderful. It's literally like, hey, God, why the fuck do you do that? And just trying to reconcile with the fact of like, yes, God is good and loves you, yet he also lets this happen. And that whole process is how you channel your faith and religion of these questions and trying to be a good person with it, you know? And I think, that's, you know what, that's a healthy way to look at the world of like, it's good place, but these bad things happen. How can we behave in a way where these bad things don't happen? That I think Christianity lost along the way, that I think if a lot of Christians would just adopt that kind of questioning attitude, we'd be a lot healthier.
Yeah, but a lot of Christianity, at least having grown up in it and then upon becoming an adult, becoming an outsider looking in, it really feels like a lot of Christianity is just about like harping on the same principles, and either you are these things and you're a good person, or you aren't and you're a bad person.
Yeah. And there's also like other faiths and mythologies that I go like, yo, that's kind of cool. Like learning about Irish mythology of the Tuatha De Danann and the good people and stuff like the Dagda and the Puka.
Oh yeah, I think Irish mythology is still very interesting, but I also am able to look at it that way because there's not many Irish people who still like devoutly believe in it and insist
There's
that
still
it's
Irish
real.
people that will talk about fairies though. Fairies are still a fucking thing.
There are, but it's not as hard and pervasive as a thing as like Christianity is over here, or like Shintoism is in Japan. Like I think Shintoism is interesting, but I'm also like still a little put off by it because shrines are still such a common thing in Japan.
Well, I mean, fundamentally, you got to look at those kind of like polytheistic faiths, and you got to realize they're animist. Now, if you don't know what animist means, I'm talking to the audience, but I'm also talking to you if you don't know what it means. Animist means it's a common belief that's found in multiple faiths and mythologies of everything has a spirit. Everything has like a bit of that, like whatever magic bit is in the myth, right?
Yeah.
So like Irish mythology, like everything is alive, like even the rocks, even the nature around you. There's something inherent in these spaces, and we must respect that. And Shinto is very much to that degree, to the point that's why so much of like how Japanese media deals with like myth and faith and religion works the way it does. Like, okay. That's the thing.
A bonus episode of Gateway to Geats now?
Oh no, I'm gonna bring up Geats, but like,
okay, I felt it coming on.
No, someone posted like a little image of just going like trying to go like, oh man, Ultraman's so much better than Kamen. Like that's the vibe it gave off of like Ultraman's better than Kamen Rider, because it had Geats saying like, oh, I'm a kami now. I'm all that kind of stuff. And then someone saying like Ultraman is not a god, Ultraman is just a being, and all that kind of stuff. And people were pointing out, I was like, yeah, because they come from different belief systems. Tsuburaya was a Catholic. Of course he's not going to say his character is God. But Kamen Rider comes much more from the Japanese traditions of myths and stuff. So anything can be a kami. Everything is a kami. Yeah. Anything is a god of its own domain.
I don't even know if Ishinomori was all that religious.
Yes, but like I'm talking more of like the cultural osmosis religion. You know,
that's true. That's true.
Like you're not Christian. You still celebrate Christmas because that's what you do culturally. Ishinomori may not have been a full hard believing Shinto practitioner or Buddhist or whatever, but he still probably went to fucking shrines on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's tradition. You do those kind of things. But like anything can be a kami in Japan. And that's where yokai come from, because anything can have that magic. Anything can have that like spirituality to it. And that's why if like an object lasts 100 years in Shintoism, it becomes alive. That's why you have the walking umbrellas and the sandals with eyes in these like yokai stuff. That's what they are. They're just items that survived and were taken care of for 100 years. Yeah. A cat that lives long enough becomes a kami. Like, that's the kind of thing you got to think about with Shinto.
Yeah, Shinto's fun.
Yeah. But, like, you also got to realize these animist beliefs fundamentally have an interesting relationship with the culture, because if everything is important, everything has importance, everything is connected and spiritual and all this kind of that rock is important because it's fucking that rock, you know. You take care of the environment to a certain degree, you know, and like you see that repeatedly in Japanese media of that environmental theme. It's not just because environmentalism, it's because ingrained in Japanese culture there is a respect nature fucking clause, and people forget that.
Yeah, that's why fucking Hedorah from Godzilla exists. It's not just like, environmentalism was big in the 60s. That's a whole fucking thing that also ties into the idea behind modern kaiju.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I bring it up in the Blazer videos I've been making on my Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon to see me talk about Ultraman Blazer.
Where can they do that, Boingo Rider?
Patreon.com/Boingo Rider, I think it is.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. Whatever.
Link in the description.
They're smart. They know how internet works.
Yeah.
The audience. But I bring up, it was the last episode or the episode before that where I go like, yeah, no, kaiju are kind of related to like this whole kami spiritualism thing without directly being like gods, because they are representative of these like core fundamental aspects, and they have this reverence. They're not just animals, and I think that's why Americans didn't understand Godzilla until we made the legendary one, right? The first Godzilla, it was just a giant monster. He was just an animal. He didn't have that like...
Well, the first Godzilla also came to America at the same time as we were making a bunch of sci-fi B movies about what if this insect was giant.
Oh, I was talking about the 90s one. You know? But like you look at Godzilla, there is a spiritual aura around Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like he's not directly a god or a kami or anything like that, but there is that kind of reverence to Godzilla, to Mothra, to even the villain ones, Ghidorah, and all those kind of things. And it's just like, yeah, that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, that's part of what makes me so like interested in the new one, Godzilla -1. For anybody listening to this in the future, where there's more Godzilla movies that have come out since, the new trailer for that looks like it's very much treading on that idea, which is super interesting because apparently the director is a bit of like a known Japanese nationalist. But like, there's literally a line in that trailer where it's like, this monster will never forgive us for what we did. And I'm like, oh, is the whole theme of this movie, because it's a period piece set just after World War II. I think the whole idea for the movie is just Godzilla as an allegory of the universe punishing Japan for the way it acted during World War II.
And that's an interesting take, because like at where we are now with Japan and America being allies and kind of like, I wouldn't say forgiving and forgetting, but like we've come to an agreement that like, yeah, America did was kind of fucked up. Let us help you out. And Japan's like, yeah, it was fucked up. All right, cool. We're buddies. You know, that like transforming Godzilla into that expansionist Japanese mindset of like a punishment of the imperial Japanese mindset. That's interesting.
Yeah, I hope that movie's good.
Especially if you say like he's a Japanese nationalist guy, it sounds more like he's critical of like Japanese nationalism and as a patriotic Japanese dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because in the modern era, those two ideas kind of go hand in hand for Japanese people, from what little I understand.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been a difference between nationalism and patriotism, you know?
Like, having seen the Shin trilogy now, I'd be willing to argue Anno is a bit of a Japanese nationalist, but he has a nuanced approach to it where he's like, no, Japan should assert itself and it should be like a player on the world stage, but also that can go horribly wrong and we need to regulate this shit.
And it's also just like critiques on how Japan has been trying to be a player on the world stage, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. And here, and again, we're a couple white dudes from America. We can't speak on Japanese politics all the time.
Yeah, we can just guess at what we infer through taking in their art on occasion.
Media and some news. Like, for a long time, I thought Shinzo Abe was just like meme dude, because I just saw whenever there was like a romance manga and it got more advanced than them just holding hands. There was a joke of like, oh, Shinzo Abe fucking told them to fuck, because there was that whole joke of like, oh, he wanted more babies in Japan because the birth rate was going down.
Mm-hmm.
And come to like, in like, then the assassination happens, and then people and Japanese people were like, yeah, no, he was kind of not a great president. He was pretty conservative, and like all these kind of things. It's like, oh, damn, okay,
yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is like we can make jokes like that as Americans, but it's also more nuanced than that over there, just like it is here. Like I love to constantly bring up and joke about that one time where Hiroshi Fujioka went to a promotional event for like a direct-to-DVD movie he was involved with in full samurai armor, and apparently went on like a rant about how bad Japan's birth rate was at the time. But like, that shit's never shown up in Kamen Rider. He's never been like, oh yeah, I'll come back for this crossover movie, but also I have to be able to make a speech about the birth rate as fucking Hongo Takashi. Like, he's still a fairly solid guy, I think.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a weird bit of junk, and again, we're not in Japan. We don't know the full breadth of the scope of that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We can only say we sympathize, and if you tell us information, we'll change our minds on things.
Yeah, I will always do my best to listen to other people, unless they're just being belligerent, blatant assholes like I am sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
And on that note, I think that's a podcast. So, Boingo, would you like to tell the people where they can find you out there on the internet?
Hello, I'm Boingo. You can find me on a variety of places. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Boingo_writer. I'm on Bluesky at boingowriter.bsky.social. I am on Mastodon at Boingo_writer at vt.social. I am on YouTube, search for Boingo Writer. I do weekly Kamen Rider reviews. I have started Get Charred, so watch Get Charred, watch the video. Yeah, do all the things. And I also have a stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Boingo Writer, and Patreon. You can follow, you can subscribe to me on Patreon. $1 a month gets you exclusive weekly videos and exclusive monthly podcasts and videos early when they come out on a Friday. So yeah.
And I am the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm pretty proud of. By the time this comes out, I'll have a new video out on Smash Mouth, probably sort of in memoriam of the lead singer's recent passing, but also just Smash Mouth is a huge part of my life, and I want to talk about it for a little bit. So I'm going to be recording that video tomorrow morning as of this recording, but it'll have been out for a few days by the time you're listening to this. So go check it out, youtube.com @thevacuuminator. I'm also on social media. I have a TikTok where I post clips of my older videos. That's @the_vacuuminator. I have the same username on Instagram where I post daily action figure photography. I have a Bluesky, which is thevacuuminator.bsky.social. That's where all my content gets allocated, as well as like a couple random thoughts I have throughout the day. And I have a Tumblr where I do Tumblr stuff. That's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. And Modular Media also has a Tumblr. We're at Modular Media. We also have a Twitter for now, that's @the_modular_media. We have a Bluesky, that's modularmedia.bsky.social, and we are of course right here on YouTube. You're probably listening to this podcast on YouTube, so please help us out on the YouTube algorithm. Give us a like, comment down below, subscribe, ring that bell in order to enable notifications so you get notified whenever we drop a new episode of Modular Components or any of the other podcasts we do here. But folks, that's going to do it for this installment of Modular Components. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you back here next week.